The message arrived so casually that, at first, it didn't even feel dangerous. I was sitting on the edge of our bed, shoes half on, tie loose around my neck, running late for work like always. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. Once, then again. The screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize. I didn't mean to read it. I really didn't. But when you've spent 3 years sharing everything with someone, passwords, plans, bodies, futures, privacy stops feeling like a wall and starts feeling like glass. You don't think before looking. You just do. Wedding, still on, the message said. But I'm spending the last few nights before it somewhere else. Somewhere else. I reread it 3 times, waiting for my brain to correct it, to translate it into something harmless. A joke, a misunderstanding, a poorly worded message meant for someone else. But the sender's name stayed the same. And the meaning didn't change. I felt something cold slide down my spine, not fear, not anger, but awareness. The kind that shows up when your life splits cleanly into 2 versions, before this moment and after it. She was in the shower, humming. Same song she always hummed when she was relaxed, happy, completely unburdened. I placed the phone back exactly where it had been, as if touching it any longer would burn me. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. That scared me more than if they had. That morning, she kissed me like nothing had happened, like she hadn't just cracked something open that couldn't be closed again. "Big day," she said, smiling. "We need to finalize the florist tonight." I nodded, studying her face. I'd memorized every version of it, sleepy, excited, angry, vulnerable. But this one was new, calm in a way that felt rehearsed. "Sure," I said, "whatever you want." She didn't notice the pause before my answer. Or maybe she did and chose not to care. Over the next few days, the messages continued. Not to me, at least not the important ones. To me, she sent heart emojis, countdown reminders, links to honeymoon resorts. To him, she sent honesty, excitement, anticipation. I learned his name without trying. I learned he lived across town. I learned she had already been there twice. And the most painful thing of all, I learned she wasn't confused. She was deliberate. When I finally asked her, carefully, gently, about needing space before the wedding, she didn't deny it. "Everyone gets nervous," she said. "I just need to clear my head, one last breath before forever." Forever. She said it like a promise, not a lie. The night she packed a small suitcase, she avoided my eyes. That should have hurt more than it did. But by then, something inside me had gone quiet, like a storm that stops suddenly, leaving behind an unnatural silence. "Don't wait up," she said at the door. "I'll text." She did. Just not to me. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. Instead, I replayed every moment of our relationship, searching for cracks I'd ignored. There were signs, there are always signs, but love is talented at rewriting history. On the 4th night, I followed her. I told myself it was an obsession. It was confirmation. She didn't go to a hotel. She didn't go to a friend's place. She went somewhere familiar enough to hurt worse, an apartment building I'd been to once before, years ago, for a work gathering. I stayed in the car, watching lights turn on behind curtains. Then I saw her silhouette. Then his. She didn't hesitate, didn't look back, didn't pause like someone torn between 2 lives. She stepped inside like she belonged there. That was the moment I understood the truth I'd been avoiding. She wasn't betraying me because she was lost. She was betraying me because she believed she could keep both versions of her life, the safe one and the secret one, without consequence. And she was wrong. When she came home 2 nights before the wedding, she looked lighter, relieved, like someone who had scratched an itch they'd been pretending not to feel. She crawled into bed beside me and rested her head on my chest. "I'm ready now," she whispered. "I know what I want." I stared at the ceiling, listening to her breathing slow. So did I. The morning of the rehearsal dinner, I made a decision that surprised even me. I didn't confront her. I didn't explode. I didn't ask why. Instead, I let her believe the lie had worked. And that was the beginning of the end. The rehearsal dinner felt like a performance I hadn't auditioned for, but somehow knew all the lines to. She sat beside me, radiant, confident, glowing in that way people only glow when they believe the future is secure. Her hand rested on my arm, fingers occasionally squeezing, like she was reassuring herself more than me. Around us, laughter filled the room. Glasses clinked. People spoke about forever like it was a destination already booked. I watched her smile at my mother. I watched her thank my father for welcoming her into the family. I watched her accept compliments about how lucky she was. Lucky. I wondered how many people in that room would still be smiling if they knew what I knew. After dinner, when we got into the car, she leaned over and kissed me softly. "You've been quiet," she said. "Everything okay?" I looked at her, really looked. "Just tired," I said. "Big day tomorrow." She smiled. "I can't believe it's finally happening." Neither could I. That night she fell asleep almost instantly. Peaceful, certain. I lay awake beside her, staring at the faint crack in the ceiling above our bed, tracing it like a map. Every few minutes my phone vibrated. Messages, calls, people confirming details. No one asked if I was okay. Why would they? I was the groom, the lucky one, the man about to marry the woman everyone adored. At around 3 a.m., I got up quietly and went into the living room. I opened my laptop and stared at a blank email draft for a long time. I wasn't angry anymore. That surprised me. What I felt was something colder, heavier, a sense of finality. Like standing at the edge of a cliff and realizing the fall isn't optional, only the timing is. I gathered everything. Screenshots, dates, times, messages where she promised him things she'd promised me first, messages where she joked about how naive I was, messages where she reassured him that the wedding was just a formality. That word hurt more than any insult. By sunrise, the email was ready. I didn't send it yet. I showered, dressed, looked at myself in the mirror, calm, composed, terrifyingly steady. The man staring back at me didn't look heartbroken. He looked resolved. She woke up buzzing with energy. "This is it," she said, laughing nervously. "Can you believe it?" I nodded. "I believe it." She hugged me tightly before leaving for the salon. "I'll see you at the venue." As soon as the door closed behind her, I sent the email. To her parents. To my parents. To the bridal party. To the man she'd been spending her last few nights with. No accusations. No insults, just the truth. Then I turned my phone off. When I arrived at the venue, chaos had already begun. People whispered in corners. Phones buzzed nonstop. Faces that had been joyful an hour ago now looked confused, shocked, angry. Her mother approached me first, eyes red. "Is this true?" she asked, holding her phone with trembling hands. "Yes," I said calmly. She covered her mouth and turned away without another word. Minutes later, her father stood in front of me, jaw tight, eyes sharp. "You could have handled this privately," he said. "So could she," I replied. He had no answer for that. When she arrived, still in her dress, mascara streaked, panic written across her face, the room fell silent. She saw me standing there. Hope flashed across her face, quickly replaced by fear. "What did you do?" she whispered, rushing toward me. "I told the truth," I said. "You ruined my life," she cried. "You humiliated me." I looked at her, really looked this time, and felt nothing. "No," I said quietly. "You built this, I just stopped holding it up." She tried to grab my hands. I stepped back. "You don't get to touch me," I said. "Not anymore." The wedding was canceled within the hour. Guests left in stunned silence. Decorations came down. Flowers wilted in vases meant for celebration. By evening, social media had already decided who the villain was. She messaged me nonstop for days afterward. Apologies, excuses, promises, blame. I was scared. It didn't mean anything. I still choose you. But the truth is, she had already chosen. Weeks passed. I heard through mutual friends that she moved in with him, that she insisted it was different now, that without secrets, it would work. It didn't. Secrets are exciting, honesty is heavy, and when the excitement fades, all that's left is the weight. One night, months later, she called me. I almost didn't answer. "I lost him," she said, voice shaking, "and I lost you." I listened in silence. "I didn't think I'd end up alone," she whispered. "That's the thing about choices," I said finally. "They don't ask what you expected." I hung up before she could respond. Life didn't magically get better after that. Healing isn't cinematic. It's slow and quiet and lonely. But it's honest. And that's something I'll never trade again. Because love doesn't collapse when someone cheats. It collapses when someone believes they can live two truths at once. And sometimes, the nights before forever don't reveal doubts. They reveal character.